Hey, what's up, guys? Xylen Roberts here. Welcome to the second installment in this series. Um, Working title, Targeted Individual Series. I'm not sure what the final title will be, but okay. So, in the last one, I talked about how after the whole incident in the southern part of the states, um, like some new age deep state shit started following us home. And I just recalled an incident that happened on the way home in the car. That after we had stayed in the campground in the southern part of the states, United States, this spider must have like snuck its way into the car. This huge fucking spider, man, like was like crawling towards me. And I was like, whoa! And like, I got so fucking freaked out that I took like Teresa's like sandal that was nearby me, and I was like smashed it, you know. And I rolled down the window, and I just fucking threw the sandal outside, and like she got so fucking pissed, and I had to buy her some new sandals and shit. But you know, and that's kind of symbolic. I think something bad had come from that place and followed us home. Some kind of demon or something. Because ever since then, like, shit has been really... I don't know about Terzi and Effin, but shit has been really fucking weird for me. Ups and downs, and some really bad downs also. But in the second installment, I'm going to start talking about some of the new age, deep state shit that had followed me home. I don't want to mention specific names to this stuff because it might not be in my best interest, so... Anyway, okay, let's say, this guy, okay, I can't think of an alternate name for this. William Tell. Let's just use that word. William Tell. That's not even close to his actual name, but just go with that. So, William Tell, I met this guy in Morgantown because I used to go to the Audis up there, and whenever I used to go to the Audis up there used to be a guy who used to talk to me all the fucking time. Every time I went through there, it'd be like, one time I was wearing an Aphex Twin shirt, and he was like, oh, Aphex Twin, blah, blah, blah. I like this album, I like that album, and another time I think I was wearing a Stereolab shirt, and same thing there. So eventually, you know, he was being friendly and stuff, and I felt like, oh, maybe this guy's cool. So eventually, it's like, we should hang out sometime. We're like, alright, sure. A little further down the line, I think it was like October 2017, we get the idea to hang out, and like, we go hang out at a bar and like shoot the shit and talk and stuff. He seemed agreeable enough. When he first entered the bar, like he had like a bike seat in his fucking hand. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't want anyone to steal my bike seat. Like, okay, whatever. So we shoot the shit, talk about this, that, and the other. Like, he seems cool, you know, just talk about music and off-grid living. He didn't live off-grid, but he's open to the idea. And, like, people who live out of their vans and shit like that, and they pimp out their vans and whatever. So eventually, we decided to go hang out at his house for a little bit, his apartment. And turns out he's friends with a dude who I sort of wrote off a long time ago because there was something kind of sketchy Illuminati shit about him. Like, I think the dude was like, I have my suspicions that he was like a Satanist and possibly like involved in like ritualistic sacrifice and stuff like that, because he used to like walk around in like weird robes and stuff, or at least he was like a wannabe, you know. He wanted people to think he was like that. So eventually I disassociated from that guy. It turns out him and this William Tell were good friends. And I was like, yeah, I kind of started disassociating with this other dude. Because one of the reasons that like kind of sketched me out is he had like a big like picture of like Baphomet over top of his piano. And I'm not, I know some satanic panic and stuff. Some people can like, I'm not. This isn't talking about like, like, oh, look at the, the fucking ram on the front of your truck. That's satanic. Or, oh, oh, the bull in Merrill Lynch is satanic because of the horns. Like, I'm not talking about people like misinterpreting astrology or stupid shit. Like I have like a Taurus bull on the side of my car. I know some dumbasses think that that's like satanic. That's taking shit like too far. I'm not talking about stupid Baptist shit or satanic panic stuff. I'm talking, but there is like, when something is like obvious, like this wasn't anything like subjective. Like this was like a picture of fucking Baphomet with the whole body and the goat horns and the little man and the little woman behind him, like the statue, like, and it said Baphomet on it. You can't, that's not subjective, that's obvious. Like, I'm not into that shit. And I know that shit is like pervasive in the fucking scene, and like, I'm not into it. I'm into stuff like astrology and stuff like that. I'm not an extremist. I don't think that like astrology is satanic and this sort of shit, but like, but that's like obvious, like Satanism. That's like the real fucking deal, it's not like subjective. That was one of the reasons I kind of disassociated with this dude many years ago, because that creeped me out. But the other factors, like he used to like wear like satanic robes, and just someone was kind of shady about him. But it turns out this William Tell and him were like good friends, and I was like, yeah, one of the reasons I kind of stopped hanging around him is because like he had this like picture of Baphomet right above this piano, and William was like, oh, I was the one who fucking convinced him to do that. Like, what's wrong with Baphomet, man? What's wrong with Satanism? Satanism is misunderstood, that sort of shit. I started getting like creeped out about this, and I went to the bathroom, and he had like a big fucking pentagram like scrawled on his bathroom. I was like, okay, I'm getting the fuck out of here. And I was like, well, yeah, I gotta leave, man. I gotta get home, get to bed and shit. I was like, okay, well, will you have a fucking eat some food with me first? I was like, yeah, I guess. Because he had already been starting to make this food, like ramen. I don't know what the fuck it was, I don't remember. And so I felt kind of bad just leaving. I was like, all right. But then I started eating a little bit of it, and then like I get a lot of like weird like intuition stuff. Like some people just call it like extreme paranoid delusion, but it's actually been my friend on more than one occasion. It's helped me steer clear of bad situations. Something told me like stop eating this. It's like, okay, I was like, yeah, I'm not too hungry, man. It's like you really look like offended. But then like, so I got out of there, and I remember like the place near where I parked was like really weird and like kind of treacherous. Like a bunch of like weird metal equipment, like rusted metal equipment around that could like fuck up my car and shit. And like, luckily I was able to fucking get out of there. And bear in mind, like I was sober, I was fit as a fiddle at the time. And on the way home, I started feeling really fucking weird. Like, I felt like I was gonna pass out. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I honestly felt like I was gonna fucking pass out. And then I remembered, oh shit, I ate some of that food. I ate a little bit of it, but I didn't eat the whole thing. That's why I only kind of felt like passing out, but I didn't pass out. And the thought occurred to me, like, he tried to fucking roofie me, man. I seriously think he tried to fucking roofie me. And like, for what? I don't know. Maybe he was gay and he wanted to fucking rape me, or maybe he wanted to like pass me out, put me in his car, take me over to fucking this other dude's place and, perform a little Illuminati sacrifice. I don't know, but I definitely did not. I felt like someone tried to drug me, and I was only partially drugged. But I was able to escape the situation because I had the foresight to not eat that food. So, New Age, deep state shit. That was the first incident that followed me home. This other guy who I met. This is like sometime later. This is earlier in this year actually, but it's correlative to that situation. Let's call him Billy. Billy Higgins. I don't know. Billy Higgins. Similar, and it's the same initials of this dude, but in a different name. Old Bill Higgins, the prospector. Another one of these dudes. Like they seem cool on the surface. He was actually friends with my brother-in-law. Kind of friends. They don't know each other that well. He seems cool on the surface. A lot of these dudes seem cool. You know, they seem cool because they're trying to like lure in someone like me based on they're trying to get on your level. It's like, okay, what? Because they're like, some of these dudes are like undercover cop types or undercover CIA, so they're trying to get inside your head. They're trying to get on your level. So it's like, okay, well, who's the person, the con? Who's the mark? They see me as the mark, but I'm too smart for them, so it doesn't work out. But they see me as a mark, and they're like, okay, yeah, he's kind of a weird, eccentric guy. He's into like different types of music and psychedelic stuff and culture, and he's really into conspiracy stuff. Okay, that's the mark. You know, go hop to it. And I started beginning to like suspect after a while this is just another case of that. Like this dude, he's kind of like kind of a weird, kind of hippie type dude. We had talked for a little bit, you know, online because my brother-in-law told me about him. It's like, oh yeah, he's kind of a weird eccentric guy into conspiracies like you. Like, oh, sounds like we would hit it off. And we talked for a little bit before that, and he's actually kind of involved in the scene and stuff to some degree, not significantly, but I met him. We went grocery shopping, and we had a lot of conversations, and we started talking about a few things, and like I kind of get a little bit sketched out, like he was kind of like had an undercover vibe to him, maybe deep undercover, I don't know. And what's weird is that he drove around like one of those obvious undercover type cars, like those nondescript white cars. But I didn't think anything of it until like we got there. I just sort of went on with it. But he lived like in this like weird house, which in some ways kind of has like has an undercover vibe about it. Like one of those places that they set up like undercover cops or something set up to kind of like pretend like they're drug dealers or something. You know, that sort of thing. There's a name for that, but I can't think of it right now. But it kind of had that vibe about it. And he lived with these two dudes who were like real sketch. They didn't talk much, and they kind of, something was like pretend about them. Like they were undercover cops pretending to be, or undercover CIA. And we just start talking, and eventually like my intuition kicks in saying like, this guy's not what he appears to be. And part of it was that he was trying to like, because he was trying too hard to kind of like appeal to me, to try to seduce me by stuff, not sexually, but like you know, with things that I might want. Because he knows I haven't played shows for a while. You know, I'm looking for like to play gigs here every once in a while. Because who wouldn't want that? Who's involved in the music scene? I'm mostly recluse these days. I'm kind of like a Scott Walker on Enya. Like I make albums, put them all online, but I don't play shows. That's where I'm at. So I was like, yeah, that'd be cool, you know. But something was off, you know. He's kind of sort of seduced me in with like this promise of setting up a show, like setting up a festival. And then I was able to like, I actually was able to kind of take it over because they didn't have very many acts set up. But like I was able to put in some of my friends from Pittsburgh, like Terzi and Effin and Johnny Jitters and shit like that. So we were actually kind of taking over, and it was like, oh, that's cool. It ended up not falling through, oddly enough, and I'll get to that in a minute. He started talking about like, he was trying to convince me to like, I feel you on the, you know, fighting the power and fighting the government and stuff, and like we should really take that to the next level, man. We need a fucking violent revolution. We need to violently take down the state and stuff. And I was like, yeah, man, I'm not interested in that, you know. I feel ya, but like, I'm just an artist, dude. I just speak truth to my music. I'm not interested in any kind of violent. It almost seemed like he was trying to like convince some Antifa type shit, which Antifa, and all these other militant, violent groups are like, they're deep state operations. They're trying actually to do the opposite of what they say. They're trying to bring in like the militia state, the military coup or whatever, like martial law. Stuff like that is designed to sort of instigate martial law. The more unrest you stir up with different sort of like violent groups, whether it's Antifa or like rioters or like some of the far right militia groups and people who talk about violent takeover, it was too good to be true. It probably is. Like it's they're trying to bring about martial law by stirring shit up. You've got the fucking charisma. You're an artist and stuff, revolutionary minded. You should fucking, we should all start a violent revolution. You should be the fucking leader or shit. I was like, yeah, dude, I'm not. Or that's what he was hinting at. I was like, I'm not interested in that, man. I just want to speak truth to music. I'm not trying to fucking start a war or some stupid shit. And the other guy chimed in and was like, well, what are you worried about? Are you afraid of like dying or something? No one lives forever. It's like, I just started getting fucking sketched out. Like, what is this? Are you people like undercover CIA? Are you trying to fucking lure me into some trap or some bullshit? I'm too smart for this. So I got the idea to fucking get the fuck out of there. But like, I decided to go to the bathroom first. And lo and behold, like in the fucking bathroom, similar situation to the William Tell situation. In fact, so much so that I think I might call this second installment of the video like symbols in the bathroom or something. Much like there was the pentagram in William Tell's bathroom. In this guy's bathroom, Billy, there was this fucking book on sorcery, like black magic sorcery, a how-to guide, it was like how to mind control people through sorcery. I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, what the fuck? I'm serious. Like, this was in his fucking bathroom. How to mind control people through fucking black magic. I'm like, I'm done with this dude. Like, but I was nice about it. I was like, okay, well, I'll be in touch, blah, blah. Okay, brother. Okay, brother, I'm just a fucking fake hippie, yeah. I'm just going back to acting school with the fucking CIA, dude. I'm trying to get my spurs in. Did I do a good job? How convincing is my fucking fake hippie act, man? And so I got the fuck out of there, and I haven't talked to that guy. I kind of communed with him a little bit afterwards because we had already had... That was the problem with this, is because we already had this festival thing set up. And I didn't really want to... Part of me wanted to back out, but like, I'd already had like 5 or 6 people of my Pittsburgh friends like invested in playing it, and it turned out like it fucking fell through anyway because it was on some festival ground that like the guy can't keep it together apparently, and he couldn't afford to have more than one festival during the month or some bullshit. It ended up like not falling through anyway, and like we were pretty bummed about it. I was kind of pissed off, honestly. But in hindsight, like, it was a blessing in disguise because that dude really sketched me out. I honestly think he's like CIA, New Age, Deep State. And this is further proof that like this isn't fucking delusion. Like, these people are real. They know of me, and it feels like they're either trying to like coerce me, corrupt me into some shit, or they're trying to fucking kill me, or otherwise harm me, associate me with like bad stuff, or both. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Blood sacrifice. Like, I have to be fucking careful. I really do have to be careful. Well, I have this other friend, let's call her like Rachel. Let's call her Rachel. Rachel is a friend of mine in the area. She's kind of a hippie type person. She has a tough life because she's like bipolar, extremely bipolar. But she has like a kid too that she's raising, homeschooling pretty much by herself because he hasn't, he wasn't fitting in school and shit. She's just got a really fucking tough life, but she's also a musician at times, and she can mostly guitar, and she sings pretty well. The last time I saw Rachel, she was like, "Oh, you ever met what's the guy I told you about who's friends with the William Tell? The one, this guy who has like the picture of Baphomet above his piano. Let's call him James Petersons. She was like, "Oh, I met this guy. He's a musician around here, and he lives off grid, and he's gonna start having like shows there and shit." It's like, "Oh yeah, what's his name?" Like James Peterson. I was like, "Yeah, I am not friends with that guy. We had a falling out. Like I wouldn't trust him." And I kind of told her like, I think he's kind of a Satanist. I think he's kind of like, like Illuminati or something. I told her about the Baphomet picture, and like, she was like, come to think of it, like, I kind of like, I got a sketched out vibe of him too because he walks around satanic type robe and stuff, and like I stopped associating with that guy several years ago. And she's had a similar experience, saying that like, yeah, one time we were up at his place and like a bunch of them were like all dressed up in these fucking robes and shit, and that kind of freaked me out, so I fucking made an excuse to get out of there. I was like, yep. She was like worried, like, yeah, I was afraid they were gonna fucking sacrifice me too. I was like, yep. Kinda sketchy. So that's interesting, I should tie that in. The other thing I wanted to mention before I sign off here is that she's also talked about like she's frequented a lot of like these little like hippie festivals and stuff around here, and she claimed that there's like a weird trend of like children going missing or children being molested and shit at these festivals. And I was like connecting all the pieces. Yep, New Age, Deep State, Pedo Gate. It's all fucking connected, man. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Save for the next video. See you later, bitches! One more thing I wanted to add real quick at the end of this video, before I sign off here, is that I want to give a shout out to Shikara, Fretz Capo, and Psychotic Philosophy, and Monkey Bone, and I think that's it for now, because they've contributed, they've given me tokens and things like that. And so I might be mistaken about a few of them, but I definitely know that Shikara and Fretz have donated a significant tokenage to my channel over at Mine. So, and as I said, as per agreement on my Mines about list, whatever, I said I would shout them out. So they're good dudes and dudettes over on Mines, and I'll provide links to their stuff down here at the bottom of the info section. And also, I just wanted to give a shout out to all of my fans in general, especially over at Mines, where that's the largest of overall of my fan base, but also all of my fans, especially any new ones that I've made in the last month or two over at SoundCloud. In the last month or so, I've made a lot more fans over on SoundCloud. So just shout out to everyone, the real ones out there on Minds, YouTube, SoundCloud, BitChute, etc. And that's all, folks. See ya. Season's greetings. Hey man, Dopey the Stoner here. I'm fucking blazed out of my mind, dude, seeing trippy octagons and Dr. Dildo and Twisty Wister, the psychedelic tornado, and I was like, far out, man. Hey, I want to tell you to fucking subscribe to this shit. What was I gonna say? Man, I'm I won't tell you to fucking subscribe to Xylen Roberts' channel, dude. Like, it's totally psychedelic, blowing my mind with like subconscious, unconscious, you know, the whole paradigm of fucking what is life, what is existence. Right here in the middle, you know, where my hands, look at my hands, it fucking, sometimes I can wash my hands for hours, man, you ever do that? And right up here is like, oh, look at my finger, dude. Wow, I can make it go bigger and smaller, man, what the hell? Life's crazy, dude. I think right up here, something like magic, it's a fucking video popping up out of nowhere, and it's gonna be some kind of music skit, a conscious music skit, or a video skit, or discussion on stuff. And right here is the same thing, man. Oh, look how big my finger is. Yeah. Subscribe, dude.